Good morning, guys. How are we all doing? Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to the new trading week. I'm Dan from Trading with Dan, and this is our Bitcoin morning update. So if you guys wouldn't mind smashing that like button, and we shall go straight over to those Bitcoin 4-hour charts. So yeah, Bitcoin on the 4-hour, as you can see, we are currently basing on this support level, 35 to 36,000. Well, yeah, either we're gonna make a move back off this up towards $39,000 level, or we are going to lose this level, have some 4-hour closures above below 35,000, and then we are going to be we are most likely then going to be testing some downside around 33k, and then maybe even 30k. So yes, that's what we got to look forward to. Today, the next couple of days, we've got to make a decision. Are we gonna make a move back to the top of this range? Obviously initially 39,000, and then potentially up towards nearer 42,000, or are we going to show more weakness? There are indications that there are indications that the upside could potentially be more likely, but the main thing is obviously price action, and price action is holding at this support level, which clearly is not a sign of strength. So yes, it will be an interesting week, but like I said, there are a few things that could rescue Bitcoin here. So obviously one of the most notable ones is that we've had this very big move down, and even if we are going to come lower, come back down to 30k and take 30k and take it out, we could still expect a decent bounce easily into the mid to high 40,000s before then printing a medium term lower high, and then having another leg down, another similar leg down to what we've had here, but obviously from that higher level. So yeah, keep an eye for that. Eye out for that. Ethereum Bitcoin is looking good though, still making this progress up. This is obviously one of the good signs. The Bitcoin dominance, basically, altcoins still doing okay. It kind of indicates that there is overall health in the crypto market, there is overall confidence, and people are still willing to put risk on, which is clearly not bearish for Bitcoin. So they're kind of not expecting that move lower, just on the basis that if they were, then obviously you'd expect alts at that point to get hammered, and which they will get hammered if Bitcoin does make that move down towards 33 and 30k. But the altcoin market is suggesting that they don't think that's going to happen, so they obviously could be wrong, but that is the market voting mechanism anyway. So yes, there is that. Here's the Bitcoin dominance to have a look at. You can see losses horizontal coming down, so this could be now making its leg down into these 35 to 40% range. Obviously not necessarily in a straight line, and if we do to get down here, you'd expect Bitcoin would have to pretty much recover over that 42,000 level, which at some point Bitcoin will have a period of time where it accelerates and alts don't keep up. So we expect some more meandering in this chart if we are to come down to here, and Bitcoin is to make a move first to the top of the range, and then potentially above the top of this range and into the potential bull trap zone. Dollar index, as you can see, had a pump up pump up last trading day, but yeah, it's looking to potentially fade that and come back down eventually. At some point this will make a move, maybe even into either to the upside is obviously up here, is this resistance zone that we had drawn in, and obviously the downside is if we get below, well, pretty much below these more recent lows. We can probably draw a line in here now because we have got some recent price, basically price to look at, some recent price action that we can draw in. So as a level for acceleration to the downside now, we can have this also. So yeah, below here, which is below about 89.5, and then yeah, we'll be looking potentially down towards the high 87s. Yeah, S&P futures this morning opening up, well, obviously just off their highs from Friday, but yeah, holding up there, looking good. So all in all, things are looking good. This market's got to decide what it wants to do. Our stock market's going to continue, basically start to make a move. I mean, stock markets could make a decent move up from here. Also, you can see we've already looked at it. The dollar index could start to carry on down, take out this, and make a move down. These are really what we're looking for this week. We're looking for stock markets to continue up, dollar index to continue weakening, and to give Bitcoin that fighting chance of getting above 42. Obviously, if the dollar does strengthen, does start to move up, and stock markets do look weak this week, then I think it is pretty much going to be a given that 35,000 is going to be a goner, and we're going to be testing lower. So realistically, I would say in my view, I think it's more likely we do play out some upside, with obviously the caveat of weaker overall markets. If that happens, if we do see weakness in traditional markets, then if we do see risk off in traditional markets, then yeah, I don't think Bitcoin is going to hold up too well here. But I don't think that would happen. I don't think that is what is going to happen. But that is just a guess, isn't it? So stochastics, how are they looking? Yeah, 4-hour is moving up, as you can see, losing a bit of its upward bias, upward luster. But yeah, it is moving up though nonetheless. 10-hour, I'll wait for the 10-hour to load. Yeah, 10-hour is going to be turning up. It is technically turned up from a very low level. So again, if this gets going, it can at least, I mean, realistically, what I'm looking for is just to hold this $35,000 to $30,000 level. I mean, first things first, let's not go lower, and then we can worry about potentially going higher. 12-hour still coming down. Obviously, if the 10-hour gets moving, it'll feed through to this 12-hour. But 12-hour nonetheless at the moment still coming down. Daily has turned down as well. 2-day is turned down, albeit from a low level. 3-day threatening to turn down, but is at a low level. 5-day still had a very nice pullback, as you can see, getting pretty low now, and weekly had a very nice pullback too. So at some point, depending on at some point, these can turn around and give us a nice bounce. It is literally a question of, is that bounce coming from relatively the current price level, or are we going to come down, lose these levels, and then the bounce, a more significant bounce, come in from around the 30,000, maybe even lower, up into potentially towards the $50,000 level. It is certainly going to be an interesting, and to be honest, I think it's going to be an interesting summer of price action. I think if we can just hold these levels, just drift, just accumulate, just trade sideways, maybe with an upward bias, then I think there will be lots of opportunities in altcoins, which is obviously, as you guys know, the main way that I played them. I have been playing the market for pretty much the whole of this bull run. Obviously, in the downward market, your only real option is to leverage trade Bitcoin short. But obviously in a bull market, you can gain that leverage through basically higher beta plays, such as obviously altcoins, which move more relative to Bitcoin. So that's how I do it in a bull market. But yeah, like I said, so basically sideways and drifting upwards, even for a few months, is gonna basically send the altcoins wild. That's like catnip for altcoins. So yeah, other than that, not too much to report. We've got to basically keep an eye on those stock markets, that dollar, because Bitcoin needs all the help it can get to start to recover from here. We don't want to be messing about with this level here. We realistically want to be over 39,000. We don't necessarily need to take out 42 straight away, but this range that we're in, this wider range from say 42 down to 42 down to 35, this range here, with this midpoint around the 39, we want to be getting to the top of this range, and then potentially looking to wick over, as in the same way that we've kind of had price action 4As below. We want to start getting to the top half and getting some price action 4As into the above. and ultimately trying to take that out. Obviously, we are doing the exact opposite of that moment, at the moment, where we are basically having price action 4 days below, and we are sat at the low, looking like we can potentially break below. We want to flip this on its head. So yeah, still lots of caution to be had in this market. It will be an interesting week. Like I said, we need all the help we can get, so we don't need traditional market weakness or risk off this week, whilst Bitcoin is so precariously positioned. So yeah, we'll just keep our fingers crossed and hope for the best. Strong financial advice there for you. No, just kidding. But yeah, that is it, guys. Remember, this is not financial advice, and it's certainly not strong financial advice. And keeping your fingers crossed is definitely not realistically any sort of advice. It's just a last option, isn't it? When there are no any other options, it's just cross your fingers and hope. But anyway, so yeah, you go, guys. Thanks for listening, and I shall speak to you guys soon.